Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to take forward the agile methodology that we have started in last session. Just to give you a brief about what we have already discussed, we discussed about Scrum model, which is one of the most extensively used model in agile. And in Scrum we have the sprints. It runs on the basis of the sprints. That's a subset of Scrum. Basically it's a iteration which is having a life cycle, and the life cycle is basically you plan, you design, develop and release. And you release what? Based on what are the requirements you have for a creation of a software or the development of the software, or it can be hardware, anything. This methodology can be used in any area, any domain, be it hardware line, software line, or any another automobiles or anything. It's used extensively because it's very successful in the market since it was developed in 2001. So that is what is the sprint. So we are supposed to discuss about the certain aspects so that it's much more clear on your side that how actually the agile works. So we last talked about the product owner, who is also called as the business analyst. So today we are going to talk about the team. As I told you, in agile model we have set of 7 to 9 people usually, depending upon the project size. These people are supposed to take care of the entire project. Out of this, for example, if we have 9 people, in 9 people 1 person is for sure the product owner, who is also the business analyst, and another one is the scrum master. So keeping these aside, the remaining 7 people, they are the team. So the team is basically cross functional as in these are people with certain skills in them. They are called as SMEs. They are expert in their own trades. As in, somebody can be a developer who is expert in his coding skills. Somebody is a certified tester who is good in testing any kind of applications or any domain. And we have certified designers and all stuff, depending upon what kind of software that you are working on. So this model is, I would say, make people more responsible, more experienced, because in waterfall model it's like 1 or 2 years a project is going on. So what happens is people go, people, new people come in, so it keeps going on and people don't get that much responsible, because for certain things we have 5 or 10 people who are actually working on same kind of stuff. So it doesn't make somebody very responsible, because you are not, somebody is not ready to take ownership so easily in that, even if you have experience. But here what happens is people gain lot of experience, lot of responsibility they start taking after taking up a project which is having agile as the methodology. So it's very good learning for the team members, I would say. So okay, so next we have the Scrum Master. So Scrum Master, it's a new role we would say, and technically this role is usually given to somebody who has acted as a project manager. So what happens is that he actually facilitates certain things, like meetings. So like the daily stand-ups. So what happens is that he's enabling these meetings, and he plays a crucial role in a way that if we do not have these kind of meetings, then people are not able to convey that they are stuck somewhere. They are, he's like a, a communicator who actually helps to bring people together, and so that they can ease out their issues and the solutions can be figured out. So he just tries to bring people together, so that we should not come to know after 20 days of scrum sprint that we were actually blocked. So it will lead to the failure of the project. So that is why it can be high risk for the project. So that is why Scrum Master is an important role. So next we have sprint planning meeting. So sprint planning meeting, whenever you have any sprint which starts up, so team first sits up and they plan out that out of the product backlog, what are we going to take forward as the requirements for this specific sprint. So this is very important because you should be very well aware that, for example, your sprint is for 15 to 20 days. For example, if I say you have only that much time, so in 15 to 20 days you should see that are you able to do these things. That is why we have the cross functional team members. So they are experts, so looking at the work they can actually figure out that we can do it or we cannot do it. So they see every task and see that it can be covered in that timeline or not. And that is why we always plan to have that responsible people as part of sprint. So one thing very important in sprint planning meeting is the product owner should never be pressurizing his team members that you should take more, you should take more. We should try to deliver. For example, team says we can deliver only four requirements, first four requirements. So he should not try to make it that we should try to deliver five, we should deliver six, because what happens is team can try and they may deliver, but in the long run team members they actually get frustrated and they actually want to move out of the project, which is a very risk factor for the project. Because for the projects like agile, which are very spontaneous, they are continuously running, so you cannot afford to have new people coming up, because when new people are coming up you need to explain them everything, that this is what we are doing, this is what we are supposed to do. So half of the time you will waste in giving them the entire knowledge about what they are supposed to do and what we have already done. So we cannot afford to lose the team members. That is why they should never be pressurized and they should be allowed to work or allowed to take up the requirements as much they want to, because any which way they are always committing the best. Okay, so what can happen is, for example, you are planning that you are taking something in the sprint and suddenly the customer comes up to you and they say that this is very crucial, and it might also be very crucial, and you realize that it is crucial for the project. So there are two scenarios in this thing. One is if it is like you cannot um, avoid that situation and you need to work on that situation, so you have to, at times the sprint is cancelled. So what happens is the team takes up that change and they start working on that changes and that is delivered first. But this is in the case of very critical requirements. If the requirement is not that critical, so what happens, you actually say to the stakeholders that see we will take it up but in the next sprint. So you keep it, those changes, as part of product backlog. So maybe you had already 13 requirements in product backlog, so new came, it would be 14 or 15, whatever set of number increases. So once you complete your currently running sprint, you will take up these requirements and then you will analyze in your next sprint planning meeting that are they supposed to be taken up from 14 number to number 1, or are they supposed to remain down below and other things are more priority. So that is how you take up that what should be done and what should not be done, and every team member should have a consent for all the things that you are discussing. And better do not take any changes because it actually affects the sprint. Okay, then we have the dailies. scrum meetings. So as I told you, daily scrum meetings, we usually call them as stand up meetings also. Stand up meetings as in, it's just a 15 minutes stand up meeting wherein all the team members they collect, and scrum master he usually asks everybody that any blockages or what they have done, what they have completed yesterday, and what they plan to complete today, and what they plan for tomorrow, so that everybody is knowing that everybody is working and everybody is not having any issue. So it's just a process to see that there is no blockage. You are not monitoring the performance of anybody. It's not that kind of meeting. It's just the meeting so that nobody should be blocked. You just need to know that everything is working in a very good way. Then we have sprint review. Sprint review is, as I told you, is a meeting where entire team, where we have the scrum master, product owner, and the team members, they sit with the stakeholders and they showcase what they have done. So based on the what is delivered, that is shown to the stakeholders, and after seeing, they always, obviously if you are showing something new to the customer, they will always give you a feedback that it's good, it's not, or something can be improved. So based on what you receive as the feedback, you you actually try to incorporate all the things in yourself in a positive way based on the feedback, and you try to improve yourself in next sprint, because it's a very fast project and you cannot afford to have any ill feelings or bad feelings if something good is not said about the project, because in 20 to 25 days you are again ready with the next sprint. So you will definitely want to hear something good next time. So sprint review gives you an idea how is customer feeling about the things that you are doing. So then we have the shipment project. So what happens is that your aim is basically that you are supposed to give 100% of your project. So what you do is you actually plan your activities. You make sure the testing is done in such a way that you have no major defects, because no major defects will, if there are no major defects, then your product is much better, more seamless. It's not complicated. It's not like I would say, like if we talk about software that it's crashed, nothing like that is happening, and that's what you want. So what happens here, the main role is of the team members. They work very closely with each other. Everybody is very well connected, and you are very much concerned about your team. Agile gives lot of importance to the team members, because they are the key people who are making it a success, and they are the people who have actually made it success since, I would say, 23 years. So, and it's a big thing that in the industry which is changing every day, any industry, I would say, it's hardware, software, or any industry where everything new is coming every second day. So many things have come up, but still agile continues to rule the market in a way which no another technology is ruling. Why? Because you are giving lot of importance to your team. Every team member is important, so no team member starts feeling that they are getting pressurized or they are not liking, because they know their value, their responsibility. So then we have the retrospectives. That's a meeting in which you discuss that we have done something wrong in previous sprints. So you all sit together, entire team internally, you sit and you say that we have done certain things wrong in previous sprints. We are not going to repeat the mistakes. So you take it as a lesson of all the sprints that previously have gone in past, and you realize that you are going to be a better team going forward. And every team member together, they strengthen up, for the next sprint, and they make sure that you do not repeat the mistakes that you have done in the past. So that is basically about Scrum. uh, if you feel that there is something which is still not clear, please to write to me. I can have the live sessions, we can discuss more. And but this is one thing which I think for sure is should be in your blood, if I say in that ways. If you want a job in any of the domains, like a product owner, even if you want to be a scrum master, it should be in your blood, that how it runs, and you should be able to understand and execute it in a practical way. Think it in a practical way, so that it can help you in the long run in your interviews, and you're able to confidently respond back to the interviewee for all the questions that you are asked for. So next, just to precise, what are the pros and the cons? Agile, it's a realistic approach, very realistic and a feasible approach that happens. You you actually, as I told you, you promote the teamwork. Team is working together. You can actually change the requirements at any point of time. It's very easy to manage, nothing complicated. And you can start with zero planning, because the requirements can keep coming up. So it's not that you have to be very sure of all the requirements, because requirements change at every stage. Now the negatives, if we talk about, you team, they need to be completely on board. As I told you, team should not be pressurized that somebody should leave, because new people are not welcome easily. So team is very important, and they should be staying back. They should not leave. Anybody should not be leaving in the project. So you have to rely on commitment of every team member, because every team member has his own ownership. So you rely on the commitment that he's going to do his work, because any one's work can affect the entire sprint. So it can be challenging in the start. Everything new is always a challenge for people to accept. Similarly, it can be because you see everything okay, you have to deliver in 15 to 20 days. So it's a challenge for team members. So in initial phases, it can be difficult for someone to adapt to this methodology, or to train the people in the organization. But slowly and steadily, it is a kind of methodology which is loved a lot internally. So you have, because you're working, documentations are not done too much here, because nobody has that much of time to complete the documentations or to maintain the documentations. As you're supposed to work a lot on documentations in waterfall model, agile doesn't support the documentation to that level. So that is all about the agile. If you have any questions, please do write to me. Thank you so much for watching my blog.